Magandang araw, this is Teacher Glen. In today's video, pag-uusapan natin ang Grade 3 Mathematics. This is arranging fractions in ascending order. Ascending order mula sa pinakamaliit hanggang sa pinakamalaki. Note, the decimal concept is not yet introduced, so we cannot use calculators and we cannot use division as well. So I have two methods to present, but I'm going to split this into two videos. So in this video, I'll present the concrete idea or the visual representation of the solution. So let's start. First is to create the similar rectangles. So as you can see, all rectangles are in the same width and length. Pare-pares po silang lahat. The idea of this solution is concrete. So we're going to shade the fractional part of each of these fractions. But before we do that, make sure that every fraction is in simplest form. So there are some fractions here which are not in simplest form, like 20 over 30. This is equivalent to 2/3. 30 over 100 is also equivalent to 3/10. 15 over 20 is equivalent to 3/4, and 10 over 24 is 5 over 12. So all fractions now are in simplest form. Before we could shade the fractional parts of this rectangle, we have to make sure that we divide parts of the fraction depending on its denominator. So what I'm going to do is to start with the simplest fraction, 1/2, then followed by 1/4, 5/8, 3/10, 3/4, 7 over 12, and 5 over 12. Notice that all of their denominator are in even number. It's easier po kasi na mag-divide ng portions when the denominator are even. So let's start with 1/2. We divide this by 2. So the fraction now is divided into two portions or two parts. And then 1/4, we start with the middle and then followed by dividing each portion again into two parts. And then for the 8 parts, we divide it into 2 and then into 2 again. And then the remaining parts divided again into 2 equal parts. And then we have the 10. We split it into 2. And then each part now should be equally divided into 5 parts. There. And then for the 4 parts, 3/4, we do the same thing. So this is now 4 parts. And then for these 12 parts, we start with the middle. We divide the rectangle into 2 equal parts. And then on one part, we divide this into 2 equal parts again. So notice the rectangle now is divided into 4 equal parts. And then we need 12 parts. So each portion of this should be equally divided into 3. So we have those now equally divided into 3 parts. Okay, so I'm done with all fractions with even denominators. Now let's look at the odd number denominators. So let's start with the simplest one, 2/3. This rectangle should be divided into 3 portions or 3 parts. There. And then same with 4 over 9. It should be equally divided into 9 parts. There. That's the first step, divided into 3 equal parts. And then each part now should be divided again into 3 equal parts. 2 and then 3. There you go. And then we have 13 over 15. So first step is to divide this into 3 equal parts again. And then after that, each part will be equally divided into 5 parts. So that's 5 parts, 5 parts, and 5 parts. Then finally, we have 3 over 5. We can use this division of the 10 parts. And then we just remove these divisions so that we could have 5 parts. So there. Now all rectangles are equally divided into its respective partitions. We now go to the shading part. So the first fraction, 13 over 15, we have 15 parts, but only shade the first 13 parts. So there you go. And then the second fraction, shade the first part. 1/4, shade the first part. 5 over 8, shade the first 5 parts. 3 over 5, shade the 3 first parts. 2 over 3, shade the first 2 parts. 3 over 10, shade the first 3 parts. 3/4, first 3 parts is shaded. 7 over 12, shade the first 7 parts. 5 over 12, shade the first 5 parts. And then 4 over 9, shade the first 4 parts. So using this method, you can see now that the smallest portion here is 1/4. So this is the first. We're going to arrange this now in ascending order. The second would be this one. It's 3/10. The third would be this one. It's 5/12. Then the fourth would be 4/9. Fifth would be 1/2. The sixth would be 7/12. The seventh would be 3/5. The eighth would be 5/8. The ninth would be 2/3. And the 10th would be 3/4. And finally, the last one, the largest, would be 13/15. So this is a visual representation of all those fractions. And to give you a better picture of this ascending order, let me show you this arrangement. So you can tell that the first one is 1/4, followed by 3/10, 5/12, up to the last one, which is 13/15. Aside from doing this in horizontal form, we can also represent this in vertical form. There you go. And these are your fractions, which are already arranged in ascending order. So in grade 3, using the concrete idea of solution and visual representation, you can now arrange this set of fractions in ascending order. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video, the abstract idea or the butterfly method. Thank you for watching.